having a good foundation of your business processes and control over your data and cybersecurity around that data is essential before implementing AI. So let's talk about where AI is best used today inside your business. So when we talk about AI, especially in the SMB market, is what we're talking about is automation. Thinking about tasks that your team does every day that can be automated. That could be, things like generating sales proposals, creating content on marketing, potentially doing bank reconciliations, or, things that just take time to do and that need to be done. But really, it's thinking about these repetitive tasks that we can automate better with intelligence in that automation. Now, obviously, we've been able to automate work for many years with computer technologies. That's why we're on computers all day long, is because, you think of a Excel document, being able to create formulas and produce information. That's a lot of automation. We don't have to sit there and, write out math problems and do calculations longhand anymore. We just let Excel do it with some complex formulas. So this idea of automation has been around for a long time, but AI extends that to add intelligence to the automation that we're doing. So, some things that really AI does a great job at is summarizing data, taking large amounts of data and producing summaries. It's really good at providing initial drafts of documents and content, and it's really good at organizing and sorting data. Uh, so if you think about kind of those large categories that we're going to be talking about today, what it is, that's where AI excels at. What it does not excel at is making judgment calls. We often want AI to produce those judgment calls for us. For example, we're hiring, some individuals at Stimulus Technologies for different positions. And, as an executive or hiring person, we want to just throw their resumes into AI and say, give me the best candidate and make that decision for us. But that's not what AI does. Now, they can summarize the resumes, give key points to their experience, but they certainly are not going to be able to decide what the best person is for your organization. So you can use AI to accentuate what you're good at inside your organization, but it's not really good at taking over or substituting the human judgment. So where are some areas that we'll talk specifically about areas in the business where we're seeing AI being very productive? One of them is in the leadership and management side of the business. I think most of us have experienced or have used AI note takers. I think AI is a great opportunity for providing transcriptions and providing summaries, notes of meetings, and that accelerates the outcome of the meetings. Just an example for that, as an executive leader myself, I had an in-person meeting that we held among some other CEOs. We were focusing on, future development of a program that we all wanted to participate in, and it was a 3-hour in-person meeting. And we had a discussion beforehand of, should we transcribe this and take notes? And several of us turned on our transcription tool, and that allowed us to, without everybody having to take notes along the way of what was going on, we could let AI transcribe the conversation and then provide a meeting summary at the end. So it was, great opportunity to use AI to, take notes on the meeting of what's going on and then provide clear directive and responsibilities for people in that meeting. The other thing that it's really good at is generating reports and summaries. You can use AI to look through data and generate good outcomes, especially if you're integrating things like Microsoft Copilot with Excel in your business. You can use it to create charts and summarize the data. And especially if you're not, using those tools often inside of, Excel or Word, it can save time by performing those tasks that you don't do often. So that's where AI is really good at from an executive and management standpoint. So, the goal in the end is to unlock that efficiency for the leaders so that they can, reduce the time, the administrative tasks, and improve the focus. Like in that meeting that I had a couple of weeks ago, we weren't worried about taking notes as much as we would, previously. We could just focus on the conversation and then let AI do the job of producing those notes and the summaries for us at the end. Another area that we're seeing great success in is our sales and marketing. Things like implementing AI in your CRM to, as I mentioned, summarize and collate data is really effective use of AI. You can create AI tools to automatically create proposals and first drafts proposals. We're seeing some acceleration of AI for that. And then on the marketing side of it, we've had a couple of webinars about creating custom chatbots to create marketing materials specifically for target markets. So you can get really useful information out of AI and automate those processes both on the sales and marketing side that have direct impact to the time that your sales and marketing team are using to create content. And they can focus on things that like relationship building and strategic vision of your sales and marketing department, rather than focusing on those mundane tasks like creating sales proposals or generating content or graphics.